Hi everyone. In the previous sessions, we have seen the concept of HTML. It's a kind of markup language which is meant for to develop or to design a web page where this collection of web pages we can call it as a website. Then we have seen a language called CSS, which is a kind of a styling language which is meant for to get more look and feel of the developed web page. Then we can go for CSS. Then we have seen the concept of JavaScript, which is a kind of a scripting language which is meant for to make our website more interactiveness, or we can simply call it as to develop our website in a more dynamic manner. Then we'll go for JavaScript. Then we have seen another library, that is jQuery, which is a kind of a JavaScript library which is meant for to provide interactiveness, or which is meant for to define it as a dynamic website, but with less number of lines of code. That is the difference between JavaScript and jQuery. This is what we have seen from the previous sessions, and with the help of all this, we have did one project with the help of both all HTML, CSS, JS and jQuery. Okay, fine. Guys, this project you did in two ways. One is by yourself, or we can simply call it as one is done by single person, or it can be done by more than one person. If you are trying to develop either one person, single person, or if you are trying to develop a project with more than one person, you may get certain kind of doubts. For example, when you are trying to write the source code, when you are trying to write the source code, sometimes you have written certain code, you have written the code. After that, you have edited it once again. Then again you feel that I need to get back to the previous one. I need to get back to previous code. You may get certain kind of this question. Am I right? Yes. Fine. At that time, it is not possible for us to go back to the previous code. Okay, fine. For example, you may sometimes lose the file. You may think that you would like to get back to this file. It is not possible. Sometimes by mistakenly we have deleted the file. And you may have question like, can I get back this file or not? It is not possible in the real time. Okay, fine. Or else, for example, if you would like to check what changes you did from the previous day to today, from the previous day to today, or any other, it is not possible for us to view all these things. Okay, for example, let me take WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, the present version is, I think, Android 12, right? So guys, for example, let me take, there is any problem. There is a problem in the Android 12. Suddenly it has not working properly. So they decided they have to go back Android 11 version. For that, what you have to do? They have to get back to the code of Android 11. But in the real world, it is not possible, right? So as it is a kind of a big company, they will maintain the code. But with respect to our end, as it is a small code and it is not that much important, we are going to simply make the versions, simply making release of the code without saving the previous code. So at the time, you may have certain kind of thing, like when you have a large bug, then what you can do, you think that you would like to go back to the previous one. Then what you can do, it is not possible for us to go back. So I mean, if you would like to get back to the previous version, right? So it is not possible for us. Or you are at two separate far places, and you all need to collaborate. How we are going to collaborate? So collaborating and sharing of source code, right? Generally this is not possible. Generally what you will do in the real time, you are going to use some mail or WhatsApp or some whatever the sharing platform, and then you will share the data. Later, if there is any changes, your friend will told to you, please change this file, like that you are going to do. But that is not the correct situation if you are going to develop any kind of big project. So for all these kind of questions, you will have a simple solution. That solution is Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub. I mean, what I would like to convey to is, when you are trying to work with your source code, there may be some chances of having to call for, I would like to go for the previous code. Then it is not possible for us to get back to the previous code. Then what we can do, with the help of Git, we can go back to the previous code. So whenever you lost some file, or whenever that file is deleted suddenly, you think that this is an important file. It is not possible for us to get back, but with the help of Git and GitHub, it is possible. And you would like to check your performance. You would like to check your performance, or we can call it as progress from previous day to today, or previous day to some particular point. It is not possible for us to compare, but with the help of this Git or GitHub and GitHub, it is possible. And for example, if there is any large bug, and you would like to move to the previous version, then you can go back to the previous version with the help of this Git and GitHub. But in real time, it is not possible unless you have to maintain the separate folders for each code, separate folders for each version. Okay, fine. Or else, so as you are all collaborating, and trying to develop a project, so and you are all at different places. Now trying to share the code is very difficult. In order to simplify this process, we can go for Git and GitHub. Okay, guys, what do you mean by Git? Git is simply a kind of version control system, which is meant for to share the source code. We are trying to bother about the source code only here. So when the source code is lost, when the source code file is deleted, or I would like to go back to the previous source code, or I would like to share the source code, for all these reasons we can go for simple solution is Git. Okay, fine. And this is a kind of local repository. Let me tell what is the meaning of local repository. So repository means it's a kind of a storage location. So Git is a kind of a local repository which is meant for to store our source code, and which will able to overcome the drawbacks of all these above problems. Okay, fine. Coming to GitHub, it is also kind of a version control system which is meant for to share the source code, but it is a remote repository. So repository means it's a kind of a storage location. See, the thing is, so the both Git and GitHub both are from different vendors, not from the same persons. So Git is a kind of a Linux, and GitHub is from the Microsoft. I think in the year 2018 they have acquired this one. So GitHub is from the Microsoft. Okay, fine. So guys, you can observe here remote repository, meaning that which is available at some location, like I can simply call it as it's a kind of a server, where, so if I am thinking that it's a kind of server, multiple people can able to collaborate, multiple people can collaborate, whereas Git is a kind of a local repository, only one person can able to work, with the source code. Okay, fine. So I mean, one person means it's a kind of a single system, right? It's a kind of a single system only. Okay, so the difference between this Git and GitHub is both are meant for to share the source code, but thing is Git is for local repository and GitHub is meant for remote repository. Guys, when you are trying to work by you on alone, and if you are facing this kind of problems in your system, then you can go for just installing this Git. If you would like to collaborate among a group of members, and would like to share the code and you have to solve these problems, then you can go for GitHub. Go for GitHub. Okay, fine. So this is the basic difference between Git and GitHub. Okay, fine. So now let's see how to install this Git and GitHub. See, Git, they have the Git is available in the form of a desktop version. In the desktop version, whereas coming to GitHub, it is available in two ways. One is in the form of desktop version and in the form of web version. Now what we'll do is for the Git we'll go with the desktop version, and for GitHub we'll go with the web version. Okay, let's see how to install this Git and GitHub. So first what you can do is go for Google, and I would like to work with the Git first. So I will go for download Git for Windows. So you can get this link, just click on download it. Here you have an option called download for Windows. So if you'd like to work with Mac, you can go for Mac. If you'd like to work with Linux, you can go for downloading the corresponding specified version of Mac OS or Linux. I am working in the Windows platform, so I will go for click on download for Windows. Okay, here again it will be related to a page. Here you have option called click here to download, which is a kind of a latest version. I am going to click here to download. Yes, it is asking for the folder where it like to download. So I am saving in some folder, D drive. Click on save. It will be downloaded. Okay, fine. Once you download it successfully, then you can able to install by double clicking on it, right? Yes. So let me go with the. So before going for the installation of Git, let me go with the how to work with GitHub. GitHub. See, GitHub is a kind of a remote repository, right? As I'm trying to say, I hope you understood. So what will happen is, if I'm trying to say that this is a GitHub, which is a kind of remote repository where multiple people from different systems. For example, let me take this is system 1 Git, and this is system 2 Git, and system 3 Git, system 3 Git. All these people are trying to communicate with GitHub, I hope you understood. Okay, so if all these people wants to communicate with this app, I need a kind of location. That location it is called as a GitHub location only. Okay, let me go with the web version of the GitHub. So go for new tab and try to type github.com. It will be related to a page where you will have a lot of options are there. What are the various kind of products of GitHub, and what is meant by team explore. If you want to explore, you can explore. What is the pricing? So it is a kind of free version. It is kind of a paid version also available. So actually this GitHub is very famous. It is very famous because of its security. So it was very famous because of its security. Even NASA also using the GitHub while developing any projects. So you can understood the security of the GitHub. That is the reason it is very famous. And some industries are following Bitbucket also, which is also a better one for to overcome all these drawbacks. Bitbucket is also kind of a version control system, which is meant for to share the source code. Okay, fine. See what I've written. So GitHub will be communicated by multiple Gits. Okay, fine. So this is the page. So here, if you would like to work with GitHub, you need to compulsory have a sign up, or you need to have a sign in page. So first, assume that I don't have any account. So what I will do is I will create an account here. Let me show from the scratch onwards. Okay, I'm going to click on sign up for Git. It is waiting for the API connection. Okay, if you have already an account, you can go with sign in only directly. Okay, it is showing that welcome to GitHub. Let's begin. Enter your mail jkshna005@rgkn.html. Click on continue. It will ask for creating a password. I am trying to set a password for this. So the password is strong. Okay, fine. Click on continue. It will ask for enter username. For example, I am trying to enter Jaya Mojvi. So I will save this, copy, click on continue. So you can share this username to your friends so that they will connect me. Would you like to receive product updates via email? No. I can go for click on no. If you want, you can go for yes. Then please solve this puzzle to verify that you are a human. Click to start puzzle and pick the spiral galaxy. Yes. Done. Click on create account. So our sign up process is completed. Once you verify mail also, I think please, it is asking for please verify the mail address and we will get certain mail here. We'll check for the mail. Yes, we got code 56. Let me enter manually. 5677 629 6293. Yes, once you enter correct verification code, it will automatically relate it to as a validator, and it is asking for something like how many team members will you working with you. So just think that I'm taking it as just me only, and I'm thinking that I am a kind of a teacher. Click on continue. It will ask for the recommended plans, all those things. I don't want to. So if you want any specific plans, you can go with. I can go for click on continue. Okay, I will go with the free version. So if you want to have the get additional features, you can go with all those things. Continue for free. So it is initializing your dashboard. Yes, this is the dashboard of our account. The dashboard of our account. You can go with here. You have an option. So here you have an option called create repository. So as I'm trying to say that with the help of GitHub, I can able to create a remote repository. Right? That remote repository I can able to create with the help of create repository option. Or here you have an option called plus symbol. By clicking on this one, you will be able to create the repository, and you will have various kind of versions are options are there. You can go ahead with all these things. What are the list of projects are there, what are the your repositories are there, all these things we can able to check here. And when you got some kind of pull request, you can understood that later part. When you got some kind of pull request, that will be visible here. If there are any issues in our project, and that will be raised by some of the people of your colleagues, then that will be observed here. And marketplace means GitHub extensions, all those. If you want to go for further exploring, you can go for this one. Yeah, right now what I would like to do is I would like to go for create a repository. So in order to work with multiple people, so by clicking on create repository, if you want, you can able to import repository from some uh, other folder which is available in the local system, or from the other Git repository also you can able to import. So I would like to go with from scratch. So I'm going to go for create repository. It will ask for the repository name. For example, let me take my repository name is color-project. Nothing is there, just I have taken it as for sample purpose. Yes, then you can define your project name, project description, that is like, for example, let me take uh, color project description, technologies used are something like HTML, css. I'm sorry, I just pressed enter here. Oh god. Yes. So okay, fine, let me go with the another one. So because of pressing enter, it has got. So what I will do is I will create one more new repository. Click on new. I will go with color. I'll go with color, and this is what I will write. This is an optional one, ma. So color project uh, implemented with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, guys. Yes. So this is the way you can able to provide the description of your project. See, for every project, for every project, you can create one repository. Because every project can contain different employees, different colleagues are there, right? So for every project you can go able to create separate repository. Okay, once we uh, given the name of the repository along with the description, then immediately we have an option called public and private. Okay, what does the meaning of this one? So if you would like to visualize your repository to everyone, see, whatever the project is there, whatever the project that you have created here, color project, that should be visible to all, meaning that the content which is there in the project folder will be visualized by everyone, and they can download also. But they cannot download the code. They can't download that. Hmm. Sorry, I'm sorry. They can't add it. They can't add or edit the data. They can't add or edit the data unless he or she is a collaborator. He or she is a collaborator. That is the advantage of public. If you go for setting it as a private, it is not possible for us to view also. Can't view by the third person, or it is not possible to download also. Can't download. But he can't add or edit the data unless he is a collaborator. If he is a collaborator, he or she is a collaborator, then definitely he is going to add the data. Okay, so for time being I would like to go with public, because I would like to provide option for viewing the data which is available in the repository, and my students can able to download the data. And if I am going to specifically add some particular person as a collaborator, then I can able to add the data. So and this is a kind of readme file. Readme file is meant for uh, to define description of your project, description of your this particular folder. Then you can go for selecting this one, then add git ignore, which is meant for if you would like to ignore some particular kind of files by the git, then I can go for git ignore. I can able to select some files here. And specifically, if you are trying to have to give some kind of license to a particular set of code, then I have to provide that license by selecting here. This will be modified later also if you want. I can go for click on create repository. Yes, this is the way you can able to create repository. Yes guys, you can observe here I have created a folder called color. So now I can call this as a repository, color repository. As I have selected the checkbox here, you have created a file called readme.md, which will provide some kind of description, right? If you want to edit this, click on this one, and you can go for here. Here you have various options. You can just go ahead that. If you want to check the history of that, you can go for. For example, I am going to edit. I am going to click here. So what I will do is so this project, I'm going to define something like related to the project. This project describes uh, how Git and GitHub works. Git and GitHub works. That's it. And tutor is. That's it. So I have modified something regarding the description, and I will go with the commit changes. See, in SQL, if you are going to save the data. If you are going to modify the table, you have to make compulsory commit command in order to make it permanent. Similarly, when you are going to make some kind of changes in our repository, you have to compulsory go for commit operation. We are trying to make it confirmation. That's it. Okay, fine. So there is advantage of this commit. Let me explain that later part. You can observe. Okay, so I'm trying to change commit changes. So what I have done, added description of readme file, so that this will be helpful for your colleagues. And I'm going to write some description. Readme file. So here you have observed something like MD, right? MD means it's a kind of markdown. It's a file, that's it. So the name itself clearly defining. I am trying to mark down something regarding this. And I'm going to go for commit directly to the main branch. You can understand this part later part. I'm going to click on commit changes. Yes guys, you can observe here. Color project implement is HTML CSS. This project describes how Git and GitHub works. Tutor is GJ Krishna. Yes, we have added. See, if you want to get back to the previous one, you can go for that. Just click on history. You can observe guys, what is the initial data that is available here. You can observe color project implemented HTML CSS and JavaScript. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can upload. For example, I would like to go with the latest one. I can go for history. Here you have a kind added description of readme file. Observe. So this is the difference between the previous one and the present file. You can observe the highlighted also. For example, if you can go with the split, you can observe the difference between the two files, the previous file and the present file. This is the way you can able to get this one. I have written here clearly. If you want to check what changes you have done from the previous to the present, all those changes you can able to get. See guys, from the previous to here you have added two more extra lines. If you want to add comments by pressing plus symbol here. If you don't want, I want to combine both in a single thing, I can go for this. So this is the way you can able to work. Okay guys, so once you created a file, after commit, it is going to generate a specific thing addition to this one. One is verified, another one is copy symbol, another one is a kind of code. This is a kind of code which we can call it as hash code. Hash code, which is meant for hash code, hash code, which is meant for to simply move from one version to one version, or one commit to another commit. One commit to another commit. Guys, just now I have shown, right? If I click here, that I will simply move to the corresponding location. Yes. This is the advantage of GitHub. So I have shown only one advantage. So while moving on, you can understand the remaining part also. Yes. Fine. Now what I would like to do is, I am going to create one new file. How we are going to create the new file? With the help of an option called here add file, and I am going to have an option called I can directly create here itself, or I can go for uploading the file which is available in the local repository, local system, not repository. I am going to create new file here itself. So let me call the file name as csc.html. I have given some name, that's it. Okay, I am trying to write the code HTML, and I am trying to go for body, and I would like to define the background color as red color, and I am trying to define some header part. Welcome to CSC with red color. I'm going to go for closing of this header, and I don't want to go for much part. I'm just going the body, and then I'm going to close HTML. This is the code I have written, right? Yes. So if you want to make cancelling of changes, I can go for cancelling the changes also. Yes. So once I said after any modification, you have to make it compulsory. Commit the file. So created csc.html file. So if you want, so optional, this is an optional one, created with bg color as red color. red color, and I am going to go for commit new file. You can observe, guys, now two files are created. Two files are created. If you want to go back to the file, I can go for click on csc.html. You can get the code. If you want to edit, you can go for editing the code. See, once I have created, if you visualize the history, that will be created with a commit code, with a kind of hash code, and it is verified because I am the authorized person, right? I am the main admin for this repository. So it is as I did it myself, I can go for it as verified. Yes, I will go for back. Yes. So this is the way you can able to add the data. Yes. For example, I would like to do some kind of modifications. What I will do, I will go for cs.html. I will click edit. Right. I would like to modify this to some kind of color. Let me take it as sky blue. Take it as sky blue. Okay. Then what I will do, if you don't want to make changes, I can go for cancel changes. If you want to make it permanent, then I can go for commit changes. Then what I will do is uh, bg color modified to sky blue. Sky blue. So description is optional one. So I'll go for click on save. Yes, guys, you can observe here latest committed. So this is the one latest hash code. If you want to check the history, you can go for click on history. You can observe. So initially bg color modified to sky blue, latest one, and the previous one is created cs.html. I don't want to go for the latest one. I want to go for the previous one. Then what I can do, I can just simply go for the latest one created cs.html. That's it. Bg color equal red. Okay, fine. For example, I want to go for the latest one. Latest one. I will go for click on history. See, all these things you can able to do from the local repository also. Click on bg color modified to sky blue. See, observe now. Once you open this one, you have observed something showing one changed file with one addition and one deletion. It is showing that red color what you have deleted and what you have added. So this is the advantage of the GitHub. If you are going to do small changes also, that will be identified by this Git or GitHub. Okay, fine. This is the advantage of this one. Okay, some people may get certain doubt, something like, sir, can we add more files? Yes, we can do. We can able to click on add file, and you can go for creating new files. So any number of files you can able to add. For example, I would like to add a file from our local system. Then I can go for click on upload files option. Okay, fine. So before going to go for uploading file option, let me create a new repository, a new folder here. So I'm going to go for control V. So I'm going to create a folder. Let me go with E drive and subjects. Here I will create one new folder. New folder. For example, let me take color JK1. See, color JK1, because so this is a local system, right? So like this, there are many colleagues are there for me. Color Koti1, Koti2. Like that, we will have multiple colleagues are there. So different colleagues having different folders. Finally, at the end, what they will do, from these folders, they will try to upload into the Git repository, GitHub repository. Okay, so I'm trying to create color JK1. Color JK1. This folder I have selected. So wait for a while. Yes, I'm going to. Yes, folder is created. Here I will create one file. The file name is, let me take it as index.html. Index.html. Okay, guys. Yes. So I would like to create a simple page. Let me take HTML. Yes. We got some code. Okay, don't you know, right? You know already. So I would like to go for body bg color equal to, I would like to define it as pink color. Define it as pink color, and I'm going to go for underline some h1 tag, something like git demo, git demo local file, git demo local file. I have saved it. I have saved it, and I am going to add some more kind of thing like unordered list. For example, let me take csc. etc, and let me take it as mechanical. Okay, fine. Guys, I have created one file here, one file. So this file I need to upload, right? So here you can go. I can go for selecting add file, click on upload files option. I will choose the file and let me go for this folder. I am trying to select the file which you want to upload. Click on it is all uploaded. If you want to remove, you can go for clicking here. Here you can observe that index file create, and this is the optional one. I can go for click on commit changes. Yes, you can observe, guys. This is the file, it is added, and with a commit index file is created. This is for our understanding, that's it. And if you click on index.html, the same code will be available. Okay, fine. If you want to edit, just go for edit. All those things you can able to do. If you want to delete the file, you can able to delete the file. Okay, guys, so this is the way you can able to add the files, you can able to create the files. Okay, or there is another way, you can able to load it from the system, from the local repository, that we'll see in the further sessions. Okay, fine. For example, there are some websites are there which you already know how to develop websites, right? You are going to maintain the folders, how to create that folder means by simply creating add file. So what file you would like to create, just select the file which one, whether you want to upload or whether you want to create the file. I am going to for the creating file. Then which folder you want to create. For example, I want to create a folder called source. In that, observe highs. Once I press it slash, it will be converted into a kind of a folder. In that, I would like to create one more file called readme file. Readme.md. That's it. I have created. Now this folder, I'm going to give some description about the corresponding src folder, right? This folder contains images of the, let me try it clearly, used images of the website, used images of the, simple thing is project, I can go for creating uh, readme file inside src folder. Observe, guys, click on commit change. Guys, what will happen once you have written like this, your colleagues will also be understood clearly. Observe, this is created what inside color of src. Observe, if I go for code, observe here, there is a folder created. If I click on this one, it will be having a file called readme file. So this is the way you can able to create the folders also. Okay, fine. So this is the basic thing about GitHub. We'll see further features in the further sessions. Okay, before going for further concept, let me go for how to view this code to your friends with help of a kind of a website. See, for example, when you are trying to define something like rgkit.sklm.ac.in, you are going to get some website, right? You are going to get some website. Yes. Similarly, whenever you are going to enter your URL, you need to get your folder, you need to get your project. Then we can go for uh, some settings here, so that uh, that will be visible to all people once you given that URL. Okay, guys, you can observe, you can explore something here. You have added one branch here. What is that branch? That branch is main. So in the next session we'll understood what do you mean by branch. Okay, fine. Then you can explore here how what kind of language you have used. In this project up to now we have used only HTML, that is 100%. We haven't used any other language. Okay, fine. So if you want to provide an URL to your friend, what you can do is click on settings, you can explore all this. So the repository name is color, and if you want to provide some image of yours, like for the social preview button, then you can go for adding and you can provide your thing. So what kind of features you want, and who need to pull the request. So what even pulling and pushing, all those will explain in further sessions. Pushes, and this is a kind of location where you can change your repository. So currently my repository is in the public, right? If I want to change it repository, you can go for change visibility, I can go for selecting private. If I want to change the ownership from myself to some other, I can go for transfer ownership. If you want to archive this directory, I can go for directory. If you want to delete this repository, I can go for clicking on delete this repository. It will ask for some confirmation, then it will ask for delete. So this is the way you can able to do. Okay, fine. So here we need to generate URL, right? Here the web pages we need to create. So for that we have an option called pages, pages, and here we have an option called collaborators. See, right now I don't have any collaborators. So as it is public, and this folder can be viewed by anyone and can be downloaded. These files can be downloaded by anyone, but it is not possible to add or edit the data unless anybody is a kind of collaborator. So there are no collaborators are there, so nobody can't able to edit my code. Okay, fine. So here what I will do is I will go for click on pages, select source, what kind of page, from where you need to create the pages. So I have selected as main, and that is the root one. Click on save. It will generate a link here. You can observe it will generate a link. Okay, if you want to select your own theme, you can be able to just select your own theme also. Okay, fine. See, once the link is generated, you can just go for here and copy that in any way. You can just click enter. You will get some kind of 404 not found for some time. After that it will be loaded. Guys, one point you have to make sure, whatever the data that you are loading, so this folder should contain uh, compulsory index.html. So generally what the servers will do is, servers, whenever it is loaded the corresponding folder, it will first identify for the index.html file. If it is not there, they will search for index.html. If it is not there, then it search for index.jsp files. If it is not there, then it will go for default.html. If it is not there, it will go for default.htm. So we explained already. The another way of saving the HTML file is with help of HTML, right? Then if it is also not there, then you can go for saving with default.jsp. But the thing is, this GitHub won't support the PHP files. All this, it will only evaluate the HTML files, evaluate CSS, HTML files, and JavaScript, but it won't evaluate the PHP files. So just GitHub is meant for what? Not for the purpose of executing the code. It is just for the purpose of sharing the code. That's it. So that is why they won't allow to execute. But the basic HTML files will be executed here itself. You can observe. If I refresh this one, you have get the code. Git demo local file. Okay, fine, guys. For example, I would like to uh, go for editing the HTML file. Here I will write to give some anchor tag. Click on edit. And I will go for creating here anchor tag a href equal to let me take it as csc.html. Closing of my anchor tag. So after saving this one, you have to compulsory right anchor tag added for csc list. Click on commit changes. Yes guys, this is the way. So if you would like to visualize by someone, click on history. You can observe. If you want to get back to the previous one, just click on index file created. That's it. For example, I'll go with here and click on index.html. And if you want to check the history, you can over history. I'll go with the anchor tag added for CSS list. Now you can observe there is something. Sorry. You can observe. I'll go with here hash code. Well, when you go with the hash code, you can observe the difference. What kind of modifications we did? So previously we have deleted the CSC list and added as like anchor tag. So that is where it is going to highlight it. It is going to be highlighted. Okay, fine. So this is a kind of unified version, right? In single file, we are getting the modifications as well as deletions. If you want to check it separately, click on split. You can observe now the clear difference between these two. So this is where you can able to identify the tracking of history. What changes you have done? Okay, fine. If you want to get back to the previous code, you can able to get back to the previous code. Okay guys, yes. See, so you have to make sure that if you would like to make it as a kind of a website, you have to make sure that make the index.html file should be available. Otherwise, you will always get as error. If you observe, if I click CSC, that will be related to welcome to CSC with red color. I'm sorry, this should be kind of blue color, right? So I need to modify. Click on cs.html. I'll go with CSC with blue color. CSC text modified with blue. Busy. Click on commit changes. Yes. Now if you refresh, that will be done. Click on CSC. Okay, it will take some time. It will take some time. Don't worry. Yes, guys. So, guys, up to now, what we did? What are things that we did? Like, for example, if you go for uh, adding a file, if you want to go for deleting a file, or if you want to go for uploading a file, or if you want to make it commit, all these things we can do it from the local repository. We can do it from the local repository by just installing the Git. That we will see in the further session. Okay, fine. So I will go with confirmation first. Okay, it is not updating that, so it will take some time, I think so. Okay, so observe guys, welcome to CSC with blue color. It will take some time to load the data, that's it. There is no problem with this. Okay, fine. So in the next session we'll see how to install the Git, what are the various kind of commands are there, all those things, and how can you do all these particular operations, and how can we achieve all these problems with the help of Git. We'll see in the next session. I hope you understood clearly. Thank you.